Hello, Pokemon people, small business owners, Pokemon collectors, whatever you may be in the Pokemon community. Somehow you landed on this video. My guess is if you know me and you know my store, you probably are some type of small business owner, and that's awesome because this channel is probably going to be dedicated to stuff like that. I'm not some huge guy that has a bunch of money and can give a ton of advice to people to follow that trend, but I'm going to do my best to kind of showcase my journey through Pokemon as a business and a business venture, as someone that has played the competitive card game and now switching over into a more business-oriented side. My name is Will, if you don't know me already, and this is my store or my channel called the Lab TCG. We got a Pikachu with the lab coat on. It's pretty fitting and pretty funny in my opinion. So yeah, this is going to be my, I guess I want to call it like a monthly check-in. This way, for my personal self, if I end up uploading this video, it's a way to document my success or my failures, learn from it, and if you guys have advice for me, I can respond to comments like that or give some advice to others. Not a financial advisor or anything, but I would help out to the best of my ability. And I want to go over my profit and loss statement for March 2021. So what I'll probably do is at the start of the month, within the first week or two, I'll go over the previous month and talk about some of the stuff that happened, big events, what might have occurred. And overall, this just gives you a way to follow my success or failures as a business, or if I don't upload it, it's just a personal record. So jumping into that, March was a pretty big month for Pokemon. We had the release of Battle Styles, which was probably one of the biggest things. I can't remember if Shining Fates was February. I think Shining Fates was February. So yeah, Battle Styles was probably the biggest thing to come out of March. I was super excited for this month because I had a order for myself of probably 6 to 12 booster boxes. I believe it was 6. Just, a small amount, not working with big numbers here, but I had a small order of 6 Battle Styles, and then I took pre-orders for I think about 18 other boxes. I've been helping out some friends in the local area get boxes for super cheap, and it's not really helping me grow profit-wise, but it allows me to establish relationships with those people. And going forward into Chilling Reign, I am going to be more profit-focused on taking pre-orders and stuff, but we'll get into that in a bit. So with Battle Styles, I think the order that I placed was somewhere around $2,500, nothing crazy, and most of that stuff was just giving people in the local area close to cost. I mean, I'm talking like booster boxes for $88, I think is what I'm doing. That's something you will never see on my site or anything ever, because that's just not profitable if I'm shipping it. These are people that are coming locally to pick stuff up and friends of mine. So that is how that works. And basically I just wanted to establish relationships with distributors because it's super important to establish a relationship with a distributor. And 4 years ago I ran a store that was quite small, and now because I reapplied, I was able to get that relationship back with a particular distributor, but I do have 2. So that definitely helps. But if you're starting off this and maybe you do have a distributor, or when applications open back up, I would highly recommend being consistent. Even if you can just do like one box a set, creating a relationship with a distributor will help you so much to just get more product. And yeah, so that was it, how I was able to do that. I actually got 100% of my Battle Styles order fulfilled. Unfortunately, though, it was split across 2 waves, and as will reflect in the April monthly checkout, the portion that I ordered for myself to go sell online and make some profit on actually got delayed to the second wave. I wanted to take care of my friends first. It'll always be that way with customers for the store. Always, if I'm doing something for myself over my friends, I'll put the friends first and get their orders out of the way, just so I'm not like holding money or anything. So that's the update on Battle Styles. It didn't end up being super huge for me. Shining Fates was very similar in February. I ordered a ton of it and got allocated to like a case of ETBs. It was pretty heartbreaking. But yeah, Battle Styles didn't really do anything incredible. I wanted to jump into the profit and loss statement I have on QuickBooks, which is just an accounting software if you're not familiar. Everything is connected for me. I have like my business checking account, my PayPal account, my credit card, all is logged into this system. I've taken accounting like 4 times at this point through high school and college, so I have a pretty good understanding of how the different transactions and stuff work and are journalized. So the profit and losses are super helpful for tax purposes and whatever. But for March, I just went ahead and put some filters to show only March 2021. And for this month, for those of you who are watching, we took a net income of negative $374.42. So obviously negative would be operating as a loss for this month. My total income between eBay, PayPal, which PayPal itself, that's going to refer to people that I transact with separately, no fees or anything, friends of mine, like the battle styles that I was talking about. So anything in that category will always be under PayPal sales because there's no third-party person going there. It's literally me, the customer, and PayPal that is just going to make that transaction happen. And then TCG Player, I do sell on TCG Player, and it was my main source of income with the business for a while, but I'm starting to move into eBay a little bit more, and I actually want to move on to Shopify, starting with Chilling Rain, but more on that later. So the total income for the month was $5,580.67. Obviously, this is not profit. As I just said, we did take a loss this month, or the previous month, of something where $300, we'll just round it to $400. And then the cost of goods sold category, this is mainly, products that I'm purchasing, card that I'm speculating on or investing on, looking to flip. Anything that has to do with me purchasing cards or sealed product is going to be under our cost of goods sold category, and that came out to $5,823.61. So part of this was all of my friends' orders of battle styles going on there and them just supplying the money. I don't have the money to just put into a huge battle styles pre-order, and I don't really like leverage. I don't want to put it on a credit card. So I actually just have them all pay me first, and then I use that money to buy it. So these numbers aren't really a direct reflection of what I'm actually doing. The single side is a little bit smaller. So that's our cost of goods sold. So that brings our gross profit to minus $242.94. And then some expenses that we had advertising and marketing, office supplies, I believe. I don't know what I bought, but it was like $15.90. There were some things that I just kind of wrote off as marketing expenses. There were some posters and stuff for when I start to do more YouTube content. And then the office supplies and software, I believe this was actually just a QuickBooks subscription. Yep, it's the QuickBooks subscription for $15.90. There were some PayPal fees in there that I'm not really sure what these are off the bat, but I think it had something to do with a fund fee that occurred. I just accounted for it. And then $84.20 in shipping expenses. I use pirate ship postage if I'm not using directly through eBay. This is mainly going to be for TCG Player, or if I have friends that contact me and want a certain amount of cards fulfilled, then I'll use pirate ship. It's actually really great. I highly recommend if you use it if you don't already. But that is pretty much all the numbers side of that. And now I want to go ahead and talk about what those numbers were, where they're from, just as a way to check out, the growth and stuff. So for income, March was a really big month for me on eBay. I started selling on eBay, moving away from TCG Player because I kind of realized that there are a lot of listings that on eBay, you can get way more for a bulk V or GX or EX, something like that, then you can get either A, flipping to a different vendor, or B, selling on TCG Player. I mean, if you go on TCG Player, there are some cards that are competitive, really good competitive cards, like Eternatus V, Zacian, whatever. Those cards on TCG Player, you could probably get them for under $2, and some of them even 50 cents. Not those two specifically, but ultra rares in general. You can get them for 50 cents. Some of them, those cards you can get super cheap, and then most places, depending on where you're buying, it's 99 cents for shipping or whatever. If you buy from multiple from one seller, you can get a bunch with 99 cent shipping. It's not great. So as a seller, if I were to match those prices, I would likely be taking a loss on whatever bulk ultra rare I buy and sell, because I primarily try to buy them for around $1, $1.50. So on eBay, I realized that the sellers that have super high ratings, that's one that's really important. I think this kind of goes for anything. Super high ratings, good photos, and fair prices by market. The combination of the three things can kind of boost listings and make people that aren't super aware of card value purchase them. So for example, some of the sales, one of my best selling products, and this is a hot tip for whatever you want to do. More Pico V from Shining Fates. I can pick them up all day on TCG Player for under $1. Find multiple from a listing of one seller, or go on Verbank or whatever, buy a ton of them. I think I sold close to 12 of these in March, and I was able to sell them for $3.99 shipped, and then I did the promoted listings to push that further, and then the eBay fees. When the profit comes back, I think it's like your pull back is like $2.50, $2.25, something around there. That if you would take off the $1 cost for that card, make like $1.35 or whatever, however the numbers add up. We'll get more specific as time goes on, so I can have these numbers somewhere and just like make sure they're solid. But that's way better than you're going to get flipping to any bulk vendor or something. And that was kind of how I started making money in the business, was just like bulk buying ultra rares and then flipping to someone else for $1.50, get the 50% return minus shipping costs or whatever. So that was kind of how I started. And now with eBay, not only are you getting transaction feedback and ratings, which is super big, as I was mentioning earlier, eBay standard envelope is what I use. You can track all those singles. You can't do that on TCG Player, which to me is super big. If you're selling something under $20 or at $20, you can track the card, and it is so amazing because the amount of people that I have, especially with COVID going on, that are like, oh, my card is missing, or oh, I don't know where this card is, it's been a month. Like, it was incredible. So being able to track the items is huge. So I really like eBay, and I would highly suggest flipping singles on eBay, at least to start. Soon I'm going to try and venture into Shopify, but that's more for product, not necessarily for singles. So yeah, big plus to eBay. But this was kind of just something I realized you can price cards on eBay higher than on TCG Player, and people will buy them. There were some cards that, I picked them up on TCG Player or from someone based off TCG Player. $6 card, flip it for $19.99. Track shipping through the envelope, and then fees. And it was really cool that on eBay you can make so much more money on your cards, and just be patient. A lot of the times you could enable best offers if you really wanted to, but there's really no rush. To sell all those cards. In addition to that, I forgot, I did pay for the eBay basic store. I think it's like $5 and something, and it just displays all your products nicely, kind of gives you some branding options, whatever. So that is another cost that would be incurred. But yeah, basically, month of March was actually really big for eBay sales. The eBay sales number was $1,305.83. I think I did a lot in February as well, but I remember just kind of some of the weeks in March where just a bunch of orders would flood in, especially closer to the first couple weeks of March. I know stimulus checks had come out at some point during that time, so more buying was probably occurring, and that's probably why. Increased sales. I think a lot of people experienced increased sales during this time period. And then another great thing about eBay is they pay out really quickly. I think it takes like 1 or 2 business days for your payout, if managed by eBay, to come in, where TCG Player, it's like a week and a half or 2 weeks. So some of the profits we made from TCG Player, which was actually higher than eBay for this month, were just like things coming in from February. And I don't know, to me, TCG Players just, I hate that so much, because it's like you see a great deal and you're still waiting for your payment from TCG Player come in, and you're just like, well, I can't really do anything because I have to wait a week and a half for my payout. So that was another really good plus from eBay. But overall, I really liked eBay a lot. I did get, in the first wave, did get a case of ETBs, and I kept 4 for myself. 2 of them are behind me on the shelf. I do like to hold sealed product as an investment. I also just think it looks cool. I love Pokemon, so being able to have sealed product is always really cool to me. But I did flip 2 of the ETBs. On eBay, I kind of just view it as a marketplace, and when the demand is high, I'm willing to list product and stuff over MSRP. Once I have a Shopify or something, you'll never see something over MSRP. I just don't really believe in doing that as someone that can get the product at wholesale. If you're scalping, I get it, I guess, but you won't see that on a store that is under the labtcg.com. On the eBay, maybe. I would reach out to me if you want to buy something, and I wouldn't buy it on my eBay per se. So the ETBs, I think I sold them for like $59.99 shipped. after taking away costing, shipping and fees, it came out to what I would sell them at MSRP without all the fees and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Small flip. And that's, I guess, one of the advantages that you have if you can get product at distribution, is just being able to get more out of it. But that was the sales, and then the cost of goods sold was obviously huge for this month. We did take a loss. I did a lot of speculative purchases this month. I did buy some Japanese booster boxes. I feel like I paid close to $60 on all of them. I bought 2 Double Blaze boxes, 2 Sky Legends, which you can see right here, and some other stuff from Japan. I did buy some of the first partner packs. I wasn't able to get them from my distributor. They were like one of the most allocated products, so I went ahead and just bought them off Pokemon Center and then added some stuff to make it free shipping. So I did expense those on the business. It's just like a holding product, so that also played a role into it. These are things that I just don't plan on selling. More Japanese singles. I did a lot of investing in Japanese singles this month, or the past month. Some of them, like the Snorlax Koro promo. There was this Inkay that I found that I actually just really liked for myself. It was really cute. I'm not even sure where it's from, but it's like Inkay, Litten, and Chespin. They're all kind of just like doing their own thing. And it's like a set of 3, but I really like the Inkay, so I just bought that one. I took some risks on some sites that I have never used before and that I've heard of. One of them called TCG Republic. My friends have said good things about it, and I just went ahead and picked up like 3 Japanese fossil Raichus for really cheap. So if you're here 16 minutes into me rambling, there's a little gem for you. I would check out that site. It's pretty cool. Going through here, more just like collection purchases. I did a lot of big collection purchases. My biggest collection purchase was $680. That was a huge collection. A lot of lightly played, moderately played stuff. I don't really say no to stuff like that. I'll just buy it at a cheaper rate. And this is kind of how I learned on eBay that you can get a lot more out of those particular cards. But yeah, I did a lot of collection purchases, and then picked up some supplies. There's the 2 distribution charges, and overall, just like a lot of speculative purchases that were probably unnecessary from a flipping perspective. So definitely want to keep in mind, one of the biggest things I learned in March was that keeping cash flow is super important, because I was kind of burning through the cash I was making on speculative purchases, and that doesn't really allow the business to grow in the short term. So one of the things that I'll be taking into consideration going forward is definitely going to be that I need to focus on the flipping part of the business and not always just put all the money into investment cards. So that is definitely a good takeaway for anyone that's trying to learn. You can't really be a collector when you're trying to do the business first. So if you're going to do a flipping business, do it that way. But I guess if I am okay with holding on to stuff long term, so it doesn't really matter to me that much. But from a growth perspective, getting more capital by flipping cards is going to allow you to make bigger purchases at distribution or bigger flips, which just compounds into more money going forward. So yeah, that's that. And then lastly, I want to touch on Chilling Reign a bit. Some of the thought processes that are going in my head. I'm going to do something very similar for my friends on Chilling Reign, super cheap, well, not super cheap, but way cheaper than what you will find them out on the open marketplace. And then I want to do a big order for just to push out there at MSRP. We're talking like 144, I think it is. It amazed me with Battle Styles how I have some friends in Facebook groups that they put up like $3,000 in capital or something to get a bunch of boxes. I think it was like 42 boxes or something, and they were like 144 or 142 shipped, and they sold out within a day. And I was like, okay, people are willing to pay this much money for a booster box. Wow. So maybe this will be a topic for a different video. If you're still here, let me know what you think. But I think that 144 or MSRP, I think it's like 144.34 on booster boxes is probably going to be the new price point for boxes going forward. And that's really good news for someone that has distribution pricing, because that's a huge margin compared to selling for 90 or 100 and then taking off shipping and stuff. So Chilling Reign, also really good competitive set. If you don't know a lot about competitive, feel free to ask me questions. I have a pretty good understanding. I haven't played in a while, but I understand what cards will be good and stuff like that. So competitive is very good. for that set, and the collectability of the set. There are so many alt arts and different full arts that are just so cool looking. You have a lot of good things going for that set, in my opinion. You have the Galarian Bird Trio, which I guess they're technically legendary still, so that's a huge plus. The Blaziken cards are, fan favorite Pokemon for anyone that was a Gen 3 Torchic fan, and I think that would be big. The alt art VMAX of Blaziken is so cool looking. Just overall a really, really good set. And with the Calyrex cards and stuff, I don't know. Overall, I think that set's going to be, a home run. There's no Charizard that we can tell, but for the most part, I think the set's going to be pretty solid. And usually we do get a nice competitive set in like the spring. So Chilling Reign probably going to be a really good set. Long-term hold, promise. I mean, most booster boxes appreciate over time. So just another principle of being in the business. But I'm going to wrap it up there for this monthly check-in. If you are here at 20 minutes, give me a message, and I'll try and hook you up with something, because that's really cool that you watch this through. If you want to keep up with me, and we'll probably do this monthly at this point, be sure to subscribe. Next month I'm going to probably talk about opening a Shopify store, my plans for Chilling Reign, how I want to do the pre-orders or purchases and sales of that. Obviously, we'll go over some other, we'll do this thing again with the profit and loss, just to give you actual numbers of what I'm doing. I did spend a bunch of money on grading. Don't plan on getting those cards back anytime soon, but we'll talk about those. The grading submission is actually the first video on this channel, so check that out if you're curious. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.